Hi guys. So today I'm not deviating too far from what I usually do, but it's a really dreary day. We got our first storm coming from the Pacific, so we're all just enjoying the rain. And I get a lot of comments and questions. Usually I'm in the grocery store about different things, and I make soup a lot. But I thought this would be a good chance to show you how to make something really simple, really basic, lots of flavor, and super easy. You know, sometimes you just have to look around and see what you've got, you know, sitting in the fridge, sitting in the cupboard, and go, oh, I can do that. You know, if you have like some frozen vegetables that are a little past their prime, soup's a great way to get, use them up. All right. So basically, I got a couple tablespoons of olive oil in here. I like olive oil. If you want with soup, you could use something a little more toned down, like canola oil. But you know, that's whatever. So I've got a pot here. It's pretty darn warm right now. And all I did was I quickly chopped up a yellow onion. And I had a couple carrots, so I just kind of chopped them up. You want them pretty small because we do want to get them soft. I'm just going to get them in here. Stir, so I start softening everything up. And like I said, this is a good thing when you just got some leftover stuff, you know. This is kind of, I think it's a very simple, basic soup. I call it Asian, and that's kind of a stretch, but it's just the flavor combinations. I love any kind of Asian food. I just think the simplicity of some of the foods that you get. Alright, so I had one big onion, a couple carrots, just making sure they all get kind of started to soften. So, why I'm talking about it, basically for most of my soups, I gear it towards about a quart of liquid. Vegetable stock works great. You can use chicken stock, works great. Beef stock I'd probably think about for different types of soup than this. And, you know, there's no salt added. Well, you know, guess what happens? So you got all this stuff in your refrigerator, and you dump it in here, and you put the liquid in, and you're like, that looks more like stew. Well, you know what? Go over to your sink and get some water, and put some water in. It's not going to change the taste. The stock is not where all the flavor comes from. It just enhances flavor. It's not the majority of the flavor. All right. In this case, I'm going to put a little black pepper in here. We had to refill this morning, so I got some fresh black pepper here. Looks like it's starting to come together here. Yeah. Okay, so what's next? I like a little garlic. How about you? I think garlic's good. Good for you. Heart healthy. One of these days I got a really simple recipe I'm going to show you that I learned from a friend of mine for a beverage made with hibiscus tea that I keep in the refrigerator. I drink a glass of it every morning. It's very heart healthy, great for you. Probably need to show that one time. Okay, so I got some garlic in here. I love the smell of carrots. I think carrots cook really, really well. While we're at this stage and I'm still getting everything soft, I literally want a dash of some crushed red pepper flakes. The soup's going to cook long enough that it's not going to be this like, wow, like putting crushed red peppers on your slice of pizza. So that's just a dash. Okay. Everything's getting right where I want it. You can always tell, you know, the onion kind of sticks together when you first throw it in there, and when it starts to turn translucent, it kind of falls apart into the smaller pieces. Okay, got this beautiful stuff. Now, this is one of the things I think is really cool. Unfortunately, the shelf life is not that great. I don't use it, but today I felt like it and I had some. It's going to expire next month anyways. This is ginger paste. I don't know if you ever worked with, you know, ginger root before. I find it's really hard. I used to keep it in the freezer all the time, and you peel it like a potato peeler or a vegetable peeler, and you can chop it up. I used to take big chunks and put it in the soup, and then you fish it out like you would, like if you put like bay leaves or something in that you don't really want to eat, because I don't think you want to bite into a big chunk. But anyway, so I want like a tablespoon ginger paste, just some great flavor. Believe it or not, we're in the home stretch. So the other thing is, I think for flavor, I love sesame oil. You know, don't buy the cheapest stuff on the shelf, because if you look at them, sometimes they're just not great. But really, I mean, a tablespoon is all you need. Let's get that. And you instantly get that kind of that roasted smell of the sesame with that ginger. I think that's really great. Okay, so here we come down to the fun part. So I got my quart of stock. You know, I know you've heard me say 1,000 times, gosh, stop, you know, buying cans of soup, because this is so much easier, so much better tasting and better for you. But with the increase in food costs right now, you know, this is a good cheap alternative. You know, keep your leftovers. Don't throw everything away. You know, you got leftover veggies. You brought home chicken wings one night, and so you've got some carrots. Well, you know what? Make some soup. You can always take stock and start it and put it in a Tupperware and throw it in the freezer. Get it out later and finish it. Okay. So this is all my flavor profile. Then what I want to do is, I found a bag of green beans that I forgot about. So they're frozen, they're from the freezer. So I'm going to dump these in here. I want about a cup. I think there's a little more in the cup because that's what was left in the bag. I got a can of corn. I like corn in soup. It really doesn't add a lot of flavor, but a little bit of texture. So all I do, you know, the new fancy can openers that cut the lid instead of cut down in the lid, I strain it. I just want to get it in here. I want to make sure it's not too much. Each step we just want to make sure everything starts staying warm. I want to get this back up to a boil. And I can tell you straight away that this might be an example of where I'm going to take another cup of water because I got a lot of veggies and stuff in here. So I'm going to show you that it really does work. You don't have to open up more stock or broth. So it's just, I love the smell. I think basic soups are really good. You know, I love making my cream soups. Probably some of my favorite stuff. A little more involved. So if that's not your dealio, something like this really should be. This should be really simple for you. I see bubbles. I see great things. So while it's coming to a boil, I just see little bubbles. I've got a 14.5 ounce can. These are diced tomatoes. This particular ones are fire roasted. I love that little bit of fire roasting in there. I'm just gonna dump the whole thing in here. I don't want to put this in the beginning because I'm not trying to cook the tomatoes down. I want these to be like chunks of tomatoes. And yes, you can do it with fresh tomatoes. Cut your tomatoes up, that's fine. My goal today was, how do you do something really simply? And I might be wrong. I think the soup is actually going to be okay. Should be, I make it enough, but then sometimes I throw in more stuff. Yeah. So, at this point, not very far recipe. It's pretty simple, and this is something I like. Else I like to add. It's, you know, in the international food aisle. This is a chili garlic sauce. There are a couple brands out there. It's not the garlickiness of it. That's why I already put garlic in here. There's something kind of almost like a bitey, vinegary taste to it that I think really adds to soup. Want to be careful. I don't want to put a whole ton of it in here. So I'm going to put equivalent about a tablespoon. You know, stir around, taste it, and you can always add more later. And I instantly, because this is nice and toasty already, I get that smell from it. Everything you add should add something, you know. I mean, there's the stuff you eat, and then there's stuff that's for flavoring. So, what are the other kind of things I can put in here? Well, if I really want to make a big pot, you can cut up some Napa cabbage, put that in here. That's always a great thing. You want to add a little bite to it. I would throw in here a couple jalapenos I've sliced up, just thin, real thin, slice them, and kind of put it at the end. You could get a little crispiness from it if you like it. If you don't like stuff that hot, just cut the veins and seeds out. Sometimes I always get the seeds out, but sometimes I leave a little vein, the white part on the inside, just for some heat. If you're a big fan of peppers, you know, like red peppers, stay away from anything that's got a really tough skin like poblanos, because you really have to kind of roast them to make them tender enough, and then it kind of defeats the purpose. So that kind of stuff. You can get the rice noodles. And you can put them in the bottom of the bowl when you're ready to serve this up and throw it on. The rice noodles already cooked. I get them in the refrigerator aisle. It makes a nice little presentation. You lay the soup on, it just heats it up. That's all you gotta do. They're already cooked. Presentation, chop up some green onion and throw it on top. But like I said, my focus today was not about making something fancy or beautiful. It was about what we're going to do with some leftovers. So, you know, I just want to throw some things out there to give you some ideas. Another thing that's really cool is when you dish it up, have a mushroom and just slice it real thin and float some on top of the soup. That looks really cool too. So all these little things you can do, really depending on what you had. But like I said, this was just something really simple. Now, everything's heated through, it's definitely boiling. So, last part of my show today, let me grab it. Alright, so we have low sodium soy sauce, okay? I love it. You know, you get some Chinese food, you're gonna pour it all over it, or sushi or whatever. But tamari is actually a little healthier. They don't have any wheat in it. It's still brewed, but there's no wheat product like there's in soy sauce. So I wanted to show you specifically the difference. Tastes very similar. The tamari is a little lighter. It's gluten-free. This is the low sodium, just like that. And really, I don't like adding it at the table. It's like adding salt to the table. I know some people have a preference, but I want to add it in right at the end because I want to control how much of that saltiness. If you oversalt something, you can really destroy it. And sometimes people don't think, you know, you put a plate in front of them and they're reaching for salt. I don't even have salt on my table. I don't use it. If I taste something before I serve it, it doesn't have enough salt. And if you really, really love salt, you probably have to bring your own salt to come to my house. But anyway, so I really just want about a tablespoon of this. This is a pretty big pot, so that's not a lot. And this is really low sodium. So let me give it that last little stir around. Everything's really hot right now. And please tell me, what do you really like to put in soup? What kind of soups do you like? I love making soup. I'll make any kind of soup you want. I also broke down a tasting spoon years ago. This thing's older than dirt. Keeps you from reusing spoons. That's perfect. I can really taste all the flavors. It's very clean. Like I said, that garlic sauce really adds, this garlic chili sauce really adds something. I can really distinguish every flavor in here. Excellent. Temperature-wise, it's really hot, but spice-wise, it's not. It's a really good soup. I'm really telling you that this is the way you should cook and have fun. You know, why do I have both of these? Believe it or not, because when I'm cooking Chinese food, the soy sauce with the wheat in it, if you're actually using it in the cooking, it helps to thicken it. I think I'm proving to myself that I can find other ways around that. So I'm probably, you know, a pinch of cornstarch will make a difference. So I'm probably never going to buy this soy sauce again. I'm probably going to stick with tamari. I think it has a cleaner flavor. So, you know, try it when your soy sauce is empty, and please do buy low sodium. It really makes a huge difference. You know, try to get a little bottle of tamari and see how much you like it. Plenty of brands out there. You know, rule of thumb is just don't buy the cheapest one on the shelf because you're like, oh, I'm not sure I'm gonna like it. It's like when people are trying to learn about wine, you're like, well, I don't want to buy something and waste it, so I'm going to buy the cheapest bottle of wine. Well, guess what? Forget it. I haven't even cooked with some of the wine that you can get in the store. And you know, everyone likes their own profile, so Maybe you got a neighbor that really likes wine, so maybe you need to spend more time at their house drinking wine, because that's a really fun thing to do. And that's what tasting's all about. I'm sure people that love wine love to share their experience and show you things. And it's not gonna be the end all in the first sip. Sometimes you really need to think about it. Think about that flavor profile. Try a couple different things. Go back to some of the ones you weren't sure about. I'm getting off the whole subject with wine, but I love wine, and I think there's a lot of people that drink more wine instead of other alcoholic beverages. If they just had a chance, I never. You do the little sampling thing at the wine store. Well, something about drinking wine out of a plastic cup, a little teeny plastic cup, kind of defeats the purpose. Anyway, this soup is done. Turn it off. I'm going to dish it up. I'm going to have some to get over this dreary day, and I really, really hope that you start thinking about what you can do. What to do with some leftovers. I mean, food costs are like through the roof right now. I've had to change some of the recipes I'm doing just because of that. I'm not monetized on YouTube, so I literally, everything I make I have to eat, even if I screwed it up, I have to eat it. But, which hasn't happened yet, but I am prepared for it. So really, in all honesty, I really would appreciate if you subscribe. Please comment, ring the bell for notifications so you get all my alerts. I've been doing this for a while now. I've got well over 100 recipes out there. They do show up on searches, so if you've got something you want to think about, and hey, you can always pull up a recipe of mine and put in the comments, hey, I couldn't find it. I want to make this, and I couldn't find it. And I will respond. I can send you the link if I have it already, or maybe I'll respond to you and say, great idea. Give me 2 weeks and I'll have that video out. The thing to remember is I have to respond to every one of those comments, because YouTube tells me, and I get one comment a week, so I really think I can handle it. So. I'm not big enough yet that I have 1 million views that I'm not responding to what people say. And it's funny because I get more responses and by other means. A lot of people are just know me personally, and they run into me in the grocery store or at work or whatever. So I'm always like, it'd really be nice if you guys would comment on YouTube instead of call me, because YouTube looks at that stuff. All right. So like I said, really have fun, enjoy. This is a really good soup. Do what you want, flavor it the way you like it. Use the things. This is just a really basic vegetable soup, but it's not my mom's vegetable soup. I think this is really, really great, and it's really not fancy. It's really simple. Made it really quickly. So have a great day. I'm going to see if this potential cyclone is going to happen and bring us buckets of rain, or we're just going to sit around and watch it drizzle all day. So have a great day and have fun in the kitchen.